Welcome to Policy on Demand's Week in Review. I'm Karl Russo. Congress continues its August recess, but is preparing to tackle government funding, which runs out on September 30th when it returns. There were reports this week that Republicans may consider using community project funding, formerly known as earmarks, targeted to specific member priorities, along with a short-term continuing resolution, or CR, that continues spending at current levels. Some GOP fiscal hawks are reported as saying a CR with earmarks may result in less overall spending than a comprehensive omnibus spending package or a compromise spending bill secured with Democratic votes. Responding to the tight fiscal environment, we heard renewed discussion this week of using so-called pocket rescissions to eliminate spending already agreed by Congress and the President. Under the 1974 Budget Act, the President can send a rescission request to Congress and withhold funding for 45 days while Congress considers the package, after which funding is released if Congress does not act. The administration is arguing that since we are within 45 days of the close of the government fiscal year, the funds would expire rather than be released at the end of 45 days with no congressional action. The Government Accountability Office has previously issued an opinion that such an interpretation of the Budget Act is not valid. Beyond the fiscal implications, an attempt to use this procedure could set up a dispute between the executive and legislative branch about the separation of powers, specifically the power of the purse. Moving away from spending to an area where Congress has delegated authority to the executive branch, the President announced increased tariffs of 50% on steel and aluminum content of more than 400 industrial and consumer goods effective August 18th. Companies that manufacture and use these products, from wind turbines to automotive parts to household appliances, need to assess exposure to these newly expanded tariffs and model the potential effects on firm profitability and consumer inflation. Tariffs have been a significant source of new revenue for the government, with Treasury Secretary Bessent noting this week that the additional revenue would be used to reduce the deficit. The Congressional Budget Office has previously reported that the budgetary effects of tariffs, including reduced debt service costs, could approach $300 billion per year, even before the latest tariff increases. In part, citing the robust tariff revenues as a partial offset to the budgetary effects of the recent tax bill, S&P this week reaffirmed the U.S. government credit rating with a stable outlook. Tariffs may also be influencing monetary policy. This week, the Federal Reserve released minutes from its July interest rate setting meeting, at which it decided to maintain interest rates at current levels. While a majority of members judged the upside inflation risk as greater, a couple of members preferred lower rates then, arguing that excluding tariff effects, inflation was running close to the target rate of 2%, and that higher tariffs were unlikely to have persistent effects on inflation. The downside risks to employment growth and consumer spending have increased. The Fed signaled it would, quote, continue to monitor the implications of incoming information for the economic outlook and would be prepared to adjust the stance of monetary policy as appropriate. Stay tuned for more developments.